Welcome to the Backlog Chronicles.
We are a podcast that challenges fanboy beliefs
and takes a pragmatic approach to all things gaming.
We strive to create a community for self-thinking fellow gamers.
A community where logical conversation can take place.
And a drive to further one's knowledge of gaming can be sparked.
Take a seat.
Show's about to begin.
Ooh. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? What's going on? Hi. Hello.
What up, Mo? What up, Mo?
What up?
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's well. Thanks for being with us. TBC 70. Holy shit. But this is again TBC 70, October 24th, 2021. Thank you for being here and ending your week with us. It's pretty shitty outside. You know, it's been cold. It's been rainy. Kevin and I were talking about that. So, you know, that whole winter thing is starting to fucking creep in, and the whole seasonal affective disorder thing. And yes, that is an actual real diagnosis. So we're trying to avoid that. But anyway, yeah. My name is Mo, Dr. Mo Mokalma. I'm here with my sons. Short one, not here with us today. He's one of the pretty ones. Mike, you're the other. Actually, all three of you are pretty, bro. You know, Kevin's got the salt and pepper thing going on.
He does. He does. Little Lucifer going ass.
Man. Yeah, absolutely, bro. You know, he's the dashing debonair. So we hope that he's doing well. But what's up, boys? Kevin, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We were talking pre-show. It's getting kind of wintry here. Just been prepping shit, winterizing some shit around the house, and you know, doing much of nothing, man. It's dark in the morning. It's dark at night. It's just fucking dark, which is kind of neat sometimes because I do get to hibernate a little bit and play some more games. Things start slowing down. Volleyball season's over for my little girl, so I don't have any more games to go to until spring. So I'm kind of excited. It's a perfect time to settle down with some fucking amazing games and movies that I've, you know, kind of put aside during the summer. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, man.
Good shit, dude. When the fuck did we ever think that we would be winterizing?
I know. Winterizing. That's such adulting terms.
That's such a dad term, bro. That's horrible.
It totally is, dude. But you gotta do that shit, man. You gotta make sure your faucets outside are disconnected. You know, you gotta. Fuck,
you know
man.
what, dude? You just reminded me. One of my bikes. I gotta fucking.
You
make
don't
sure
want
it's
that
closed.
shit to blow up in your drywall. I'm just saying that could be a whole other podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Jesus, bro. Fucking winterizing. My God. Yeah. Mike.
Yo.
Mike, my man. What's up, baby?
What's going on, fellas? Nothing much, Mo. I was doing some general cleaning of the house. I cleaned a big part of my garage out because it needed to be done. And apparently, whatever, it doesn't matter, honestly. But kind of doing the same as Kevin, really chilling on the movies. A lot of family stuff. Once again, the kids are crazy as norm, you know, trying to squeeze in the video games into that mental schedule, you know, every now and again. My son, he's 2. He actually slays at Astro's Playroom. You know, he like knows how to punch and pull the cords and stuff.
That's
you
cool,
know?
bro.
Yeah. And he's like the robot game. I'm like, his name, because he, you know, how Astro like waves to the camera, and like my son gets a kick out of it, you know. So watching him play and his brain work is like really cool to see. Besides that, nothing much, man. Just I'm prepping hard for this season, or for not the season. You guys talking about winterization and shit. Prepping hard for the holidays for the new games, because I feel like I haven't bought a new game in a hot minute, and with Guardians coming out, I'm like, oh, like okay, like I think it has begun, you know. So prepping for that.
Yeah, the time is coming, bro.
Yeah, it is, man. It is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What you
That's
been up
good,
to, man?
Nothing much, dude. Just, you know, long week. I was telling you guys, I was telling Kevin actually before you came in earlier. Long week, a lot of shit, man. It's just fucking stressful crap, and always fucking happy to, to be here on Sundays, man. At least that's like the one less fucking positive thing, before like Monday hits and you're like, oh fuck, work is about to start. So I did get this way. I did get Master Chief though behind me now, so Marcus Phoenix has been replaced.
That's awesome.
I mean, bro, I love Marcus, but come on, look at him, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice, man. I like that a lot. How'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
Xbox, man. They sold it on there.
Okay.
They're only. We talk about Nintendo selling the fucking cardboard Labos. Remember the Labo? Dude, this thing is cardboard, and it's like with shipping, it's $65, 60 or $65. Yeah. So
does it come folded or is it in pieces?
No,
okay.
No, it comes all folded. Obviously in like this long, thin box, and you literally just take it out and you unfold it, and then it's got like these brackets that kind of like they're cardboard. Everything is cardboard. They like fold out, and then you lock them in place with another bracket. There's like 3 of them, I think. It's like what, 6'4" or 6'5". This is definitely not a 1-to-1
life size.
No way, bro. No way.
Yeah,
because he's like
8
fucking
or something.
He's
right?
a walking tank, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like what, 7 feet tall. So these Spartans are huge. So I stood next to it. I'm like, nah, motherfucker, you ain't this tall. I know you're taller than this. But yeah, that's about it, man. It's just trying to game here and there, and yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, though. And Jordan, wherever you are, I don't know if you're watching, probably listening, whatever the fuck it is. I hope you're doing well, bro. I fucking miss your face, man. I think we all do. Or maybe we don't. We're just saying that. I don't know. My fucking son. Come back. So let's get into what we've been playing. Actually, there has been a couple things you were talking about before we get into what we were playing, because it's not a topic, but we talk about Guardians, man. We were talking about the game before, and it's kind of like it's so weird because we're at this like junction, do we or do we not? Do we or do we not? Like Kevin and I were trying to do, we justified, like we both had it pre-ordered and then we canceled it and then we pre-ordered it again, right? And I got the special edition. I pre-ordered the special edition because the Walmart pre-order has its own steelbook. It's exclusive steelbook, and then the special edition has a steelbook as well. That's included with it. So then I'm like, all right, if the game sucks, worst case scenario, return the game and keep the steelbook, like the pre-order steelbook. And yeah, dude, I don't know, man. We have a good friend who is reviewing the game, and he told us he loves it. I mean, that's the fucking crazy thing, because he's just like, dude, this game is fucking awesome. He's like, I'm telling you, this game is fucking awesome. He's just talking it up. And I'm like, bro, why are you doing this to me? I had no intention of playing this game or buying it, but it's gonna be interesting, man. Reviews drop tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST, so
okay,
we'll see how that goes, and whether that's justified or not. Look at Pampa right here. Are you trying to fuck with me, bro? If you had to choose one, Master Chief stand or Kratos, well, you only have room for one. I wouldn't fucking pick any of them if I had only room for one. Let's just put it to you that way, bro. Don't you ever ask me a question like that again. You understand what you're doing to me, man? Kratos and Master Chief. Shit. God damn it. You hurt me, Pampa. You fucking hurt me, bro. Anyway, yeah. Mass Effect meets Spider-Man. Yeah, Dash, I saw that too, bro. Look, man, these types of takes, yeah, I don't know, these bombastic takes, I'm not really too keen on it's just, I'll wait. We have 13 hours until the reviews go live, so we'll see then. Kevin, what have you been playing, bro?
All right, what have I been playing? I played some Riders Republic for that. They have that week trial, 4-hour week trial, and I played that with Ains and Pampa and Jordan for
That was last night.
a couple hours. Yeah, and that was fun. Although I suck, but Pampa does not suck. This is the game that was made for him. He's good, man.
Papa's a fucking assassin, bro. Don't let him fool
dude,
you. He's an assassin in Halo. He's an assassin in Rocket League, and now we got this
sleeper,
shit.
dude.
Yeah,
he's a sleeper.
fuck
He
yeah,
just
is.
fucking giggles and gets first place. And I've been playing a little bit of that. I've been playing some Metroid Dread on my new OLED Switch that I already got shit for from the wife, but that's okay. That shit looks beautiful in handheld mode. I've played it both in handheld and in docked mode. I'm liking it. I think I'm just gonna keep that one for handheld and just work my way through it slowly, like, when I'm in bed, instead of fucking doom scrolling through Twitter. I'll play 30 45 minutes of Metroid Dread before bed, and just slow burn on that. I'm not a huge Metroid fan, but it's a solid game and it plays really well and it looks beautiful on that screen. So and aside from that, I queued up Avengers for a little bit. Trying
to get the Marvel juices flowing, bro.
Yeah. But I haven't been playing all that much. I want to keep I keep trying to turn on the PlayStation so I can play Deathloop or Death Stranding, but all my boys are hanging out on the Xbox, so it's like I'll just turn on the Xbox and play and turn on the Xbox and play Avengers instead of Deathloop, or I don't know, man. See, that's how much I love my friends. My online friends that live inside my console. That's how much I love you guys. That I play just shit ass games just to talk to you. But yeah, no, just been kind of slow. That's kind of why I'm thinking about diving right into the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy this week, because I really don't feel like playing anything else, and maybe this will scratch an itch. I don't know.
Yeah, no, man, definitely. That's honestly, I think that's what it is too. We're hoping that it's good.
I don't want to have FOMO either, man. I really don't. I hate
that's
to
our
say
fucking
it, but
problem, man, because we're degenerates. Like,
this is part of no. This is part of our duty. This is part of the job. I tell my wife, like, I run this motherfucking podcast. I need to know what's up.
That is
right?
true.
So
that is true.
I write all this off as a business expense. So IRS, this is totally a legit business.
Oh yeah, this is totally fucking legit. Oh yeah,
totally.
Oh man, yeah. I'm right there with you, man. That's what I'm hoping for as well. We're all hoping that it's got that that it's good enough at least to justify the purchase. Otherwise, we're all going to be looking at Black Friday, but we'll see. Mike, baby, what you been playing, bro?
The basics, Mortal Kombat. What the?
Basics.
So Mortal Kombat has reached another level for me yet again. Like all things that you learn and dive super deep into, I'm on whatever that next level is, and I don't like that next level, man. I'll tell you what. The more you find out about the game and the more you understand how other players play, especially like when you go up in the ranks, dude, it's like, you know what? You're getting fucking cheap. And I don't know if I like this game anymore. That might be, though, due to the fact that I had a good solid 5-win streak and then got my ass whooped by lower level characters 3 in a row. That happened earlier, and that stuck with me all week, and I didn't like it. It's one of those feelings where you get so upset. Okay, so, all right, so I was playing a Kung Lao player, and Kung Lao players always play against Sub-Zero players because they have some type of teleport move. You like match up or whatever. And this dude whooped my ass, and I went into it thinking I was going to win because he was like a way lower character level than me. And this dude just wiped the floor with my face, man. And because the PlayStation 5 has that stupid little fucking button on it, I was so mad, and I was like moving my hands so much, I unmuted it, and he totally heard me being a bitch. And I was just like, your fucking character sucks, you suck. And I was just like raging, basically, like your typical rage that you would see.
Amazing.
And he heard me, and then he did me one, and he did a friendship. and I didn't like that, and I felt like he was clowning on me, so I just muted it and I got off the game, and that was my last experience with Mortal Kombat this week. Oh man, I couldn't come back after that, and so I chose not to. So I dived into Unsighted later on in the week, which is that game Jordan was talking about on Game Pass. It's pretty cool. Top-down 3D hack and slash Souls Death's Door type of game. Heavily inspired by themes like Alita Battle Angel and like, yeah, you know, it's got that Metroid vibe like the moment you start the game. It's super pixely. Get good. Exactly. Thanks for the advice, baby. That's the only night you just spelled it wrong.
That's a nice way for
G-I-T-G-U-D.
ERG to tell you suck. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Unsighted was pretty good. You get a bunch of little RPG elements. It's pretty hard as well, and the controls are weird. Like everything Jordan said, like was right on the money. Whenever you talked about it last week. So, but yeah, it was cool. I was like, Alita Battle Angel, like that's badass, man. And then I played Halo Wars 1 remastered, and that was a pretty cool experience because I was talking about Kevin, that Starship Troopers game demo. You know, wanted to jam in that RTS style for a little bit. But I'll tell you how Halo Wars, like, I don't know. I did the first 5 missions, and one of the missions is like 45 fucking minutes. The other missions are about 10 to 15, 5 to 15, give or take. So I was deep. I was like, I've played this game enough to know if I like it or not. And I'm like kind of on the fence. I feel like it's a game that you got to be in a mood in. So it's like...
It's RTS, man.
Yeah, but the way the controls and like the way the camera is moving, it's very
RTS
strange.
on controls just aren't.
Yeah.
Anybody, yeah, man. Man, it's hard. It's
Some people love RTS on the console, and I could never.
Oh, really?
Do it. I could
Yeah.
never do it, man. I don't know.
Like it just has this loop to where it's like you need, because you're a commander, you're commanding an army or whatever, and you got to have a base, and your base has one thing to give you supplies, one thing to give you troops. You can't get troops unless if you have supplies, like, you know, the whole loop thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's just a bunch of stuff that where I was just like, I feel like I'm just waiting around a lot in this game. Like, why would I spread my soldiers out except for that one particular mission that makes you? Like, why would I spread them out and I would just keep them at the base and then just, like, get all my base up and so all my soldiers and all my tanks are up? And I just didn't see the reason why I would, like, branch out and take 15 dudes over here and 15 dudes over there.
That's the difference between a marine mind and a fucking plain old pleb mind like us, bro.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just like, why would I attack? Yeah, I was like, why would I attack the base with half of my fucking troops when I could just wait for 20 minutes?
It's not that serious, Mike.
Because then if you're doing that, you're just going back and forth and you're like, I need more troops, and you're wasting your supplies, and then they go out to die basically or whatever, and it's like, oh, so I might as well just wait until I have enough supplies, enough troops, enough tanks, and then just go full blown. And it does it for you if you wait long enough. But I see that. I just didn't get the concept, and I was just like, this is cool, I guess. Like, I'm not really into it, but yeah, it was great. It was like, okay, I guess.
RTSs on a controller are hard, man. It's a tough task, you know. One thing you can do is, like I was telling you, you can at least try to look, bro. Worst case scenario, at least, like, you know, you're going through it. Watch the fucking videos and cutscenes and whatever.
Exactly.
And then after that, try to play Halo Wars 2. I'm sure they made improvements there. And
I
if
will.
you still feel like that it's annoying to play, then fuck it, man. Just do what I do, or just do what I did. I mean, you know, as much as I love Halo, I don't want to play RTS.
Yeah.
So
because with Infinite, I definitely want to go in for some general idea of like a timeline and kind of what I'm getting into, because Halo Infinite like seems to touch me a little bit.
You need to play. Then you need to watch Halo Wars too. You need to know what's going on in there, because I'm telling you, like, the Banished is a big part of, you know. Well, as far as we know, they're going to be a big part of the story in the Infinite. So, yeah, I think you would definitely be doing yourself a favor there for sure.
Okay, cool, will do.
Good shit, man. That's awesome. Me, I started. Okay, so I finished Metroid Dread. Took me 14 and a half hours, but that was like because Dude, and that's fucking crazy, man, because I'm seeing like 8.5 hour runs, and like these are guys like that are playing it normally, right? Like, but what I did is I think Ains finished it. Ains finished it in 6 hours of playtime, less than I did as well. And for me, like, I ran around a lot. I tried to like grind as much as I did. Like, I remember I had like 10 energy tanks and 169 missiles when I was done. And it was fun. That's the one thing I really love about Metroid games, is the fact that I don't mind getting lost because there's always a way forward, right? Like you just have to figure it out. And that's the greatest thing about it is like they don't hold your hand. They don't tell you, like they give you just enough to figure out where or what you need to do, but at the same time, like they don't tell you like, hey, green arrow, go this way. So I think it loses a lot of its charm, I guess, if you want to say. But the game is fucking amazing. Shot into like my top 5 of the year, like automatically. I love the way that they wrapped up the storyline. I think it ended fantastic. I think the boss fights were awesome. There's a few mini bosses that were a little repetitive, but still they were challenging. But the main boss fights themselves, some were okay, So here's the thing: the boss fights were amazing. Okay, from a design perspective, I thought they were amazing. Some of them were tough, okay. Some of them were really tough, and some of them were okay. But the one common denominator is they were designed extremely well. Like Kraid, for instance. Kraid was an amazing boss fight. It was a beautiful boss fight. Was it hard? No, I don't think it. I didn't think it was. I think it took me like 2 or 3 tries to kill him. Whereas like the final boss took me 8 tries, and that motherfucker is hard. He's tough. But recognizing his patterns is, just like most boss fights, that's really what you're supposed to do. But one thing though that I didn't understand, and I tweeted about this a couple of days ago, and I wasn't really being an asshole or a snarky prick, because I'm like, so it took me 8 tries total, with the final boss, right? And that itself was, I want to say, like maybe an hour of total playtime, And my gaming skills are average at best. So some of these fucking reviewers, one reviewer, I'm not going to say his name, but one specific reviewer, and he's a mainstream reviewer. He said it took him 6 hours to kill the final boss or to get through the final boss. I saw another reviewer who said this... whatever. Gene Park, who gives a fuck? It's not like he watches the show. Gene Park on Washington Post, he said 6 hours, right? And then Blessing Adiole, I think I said his last name right, from Kind of Funny, he said it took him 3 hours. I'm like, what the fuck are you people playing for a final boss fight like this to take you 3 hours? I know I'm not that good. And I talked to these guys too. Like Ains did it in 7 tries. So I don't know. I have no idea. I thought that was like fucking ridiculous, but anyway, yeah. The game itself though is awesome. Don't believe everybody that tells you like, oh, it's so hard. Like, they really made it sound like it was very hard. Like going into it, I'm like, okay, this, you can tell like it's got a more darker, serious tone to it, and I really liked it. I appreciated it, but it's not. It's really not. Like, I just came to the conclusion that these fucking mainstream reviewers, they just all suck. Like, really. We think we suck. Like when we say like, haha, we suck. No. Like, these guys really fucking suck. So at least that's really that's my opinion. But anyway, Metroid Dread, it's fucking awesome.
It is.
Probably gonna get to it again at some
Sounds
point.
awesome.
But yeah. Dashier is saying like, yeah, he's seen sub 2 hour speed runs. Yeah, bro. I saw an hour and a half.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous. You know what's crazy too is the game itself. The amazing thing about these games is they're meant to be broken, right? And the developers do this intentionally. So as you progress in the game, obviously you start to get more and more abilities, and that ends up helping you like unlock different areas and whatever. But they intentionally do it where you can, with enough effort, you can actually get abilities that you're supposed to get later in the game, early in the game. Like, for instance, like the bombs, right? When you fight Kraid, this is not a spoiler, by the way. When you fight Kraid, there's a way to kill Kraid, right? Kraid has a hole in his abdomen, all right? You can't access that hole unless you somehow get the bombs, which you get way after you fight Kraid. But if you somehow break the game and you get them early, you can use those bombs to kill him in that boss fight. That's just like one of the ways that you can. It's really fucking cool, man. Like, they really encourage it. That type of exploration is really encouraged. I didn't personally have the patience, you know, like to do it on whatever, but I thought I think it's really cool when they do that. So yeah, play Metroid Dread. It's awesome. And then I started playing The Forgotten City. So I've been meaning to play The Forgotten City. I was kind of like, all right, man, look, I know I'm looking forward to Halo Infinite and fucking Forza, you know, Forza 5. And then I'm like, okay, like, I don't want to like formulate any like Game of the Year opinions until I play this game. I've been hearing some great things about it since it released. And it's the easiest way I could tell you is it's like this ancient Roman time loop story. You know, like, I mean, and it's very, very narratively driven. Like very, very little to no combat. You will get some combat plays. If you're curious enough, you will find areas where where combat will be necessary. But I'm talking like you have a kick and you have a bow and arrow, right? Like, I mean, that's it. Like, I mean, and so it's not, you know, it's nothing like too intricate, because still the whole story is it's story driven, and it's all a mystery. You know, like, I mean, you find out you're in this place, this ancient city, this ancient Roman city. You have no idea why you're there, and then you just start to meet, and it has 23 citizens. So you get to know all of the citizens and back and forth, and you get to know their story and their nuances, and, you know, like, I mean, all this weird shit that they do, some weird funky shit, you know, and you try to like figure it out slowly. Think like something like 12 minutes, but just on a bigger scale, and you retain the information that you had from the previous loop, you know, so the character himself, like, he's aware of what's happening. And just the mystery itself and the storytelling is fucking phenomenal, man. The writing is unbelievable. Now, this game started out as initially a mod of Skyrim, you know, but it became so popular that these guys just fucking blew up, and then they ended up making it into a full-fledged game. So they put more resources and time. It's not going to blow you away visually. It's decent, you know. I mean, you could tell like it's just like a slightly prettier version of Skyrim, but it's not going to like burn your retinas or anything, you know. But it's fucking awesome, man. I would really, really recommend it for anybody you know, like, if you want a slower type of game that makes you think a little bit, you know, because there's some quests where you have to like trigger things in a certain way, you know, and it doesn't hold your hand, which I think is awesome. It gives you just enough, like I was talking about Metroid, it gives you just enough to reward your curiosity, you know, but sometimes like it doesn't only tell you, you know, like, I mean, it won't just tell you like, go here and do this. So yeah, if you're looking for that type of game, I would really recommend it. It's awesome. Cool thing is this is the last thing I'm going to mention about it. There's 4 endings. Normally games with multiple endings, I don't like them. I hate games with multiple endings. I don't know, you know, like, I mean, it's just it triggers my OCD. I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to go back through this game right now and play it again. So yesterday I was casually playing the game. I started from one of my save points, and I'm like, let me just go into this room. I was in this room. It's called the Cistern. I went into like this underground area. Initially I couldn't do it because I needed something to progress through. So I got something, and I'm like, all right, let me just see. Maybe it's like an exploration point, you know, like you just find shit. Anyway, I got a little bit deeper in it, and I ended up beating the game unintentionally. I had no fucking clue what I was walking into, but I basically solved one of the biggest mysteries in the game just by casually strolling through and just pushing a little bit deeper. So that was like, and it said ending 2 of 4, so ending number 2. And I actually want to see all 4 endings, because I kind of like know what I have to do in a sense. And even though I said like I hate games with multiple endings, like this is pretty cool, and it's coming to Game Pass. So if anybody's curious, it is coming to Game Pass next month.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
I will play it.
It's slow, but if you're looking for that type of game where, you know, it's just more story and cerebral, you know, like, I mean, yeah, I definitely think like, I think you would enjoy it for sure. All right, let's see, boys, ready? You guys want to dive in?
Oh yeah.
Let's start this shit. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I was gonna say. All right. Nah. All right. I was just gonna talk about Elden Ring, but I mean, okay. I'll just to quickly mention it. Elden Ring delayed 1 month, coming now in February, and they also announced a beta test that's coming in November as well, which is really cool. You could sign up for it, but now Elden Ring is pushed to February 25th, 2022, instead of January 21, 2022, and yeah, I signed up for it. Curious to see what it's gonna be like. I figured we would mention it anyway. And really, the biggest reason why I wanted to mention it is because now in February you have Elden Ring, Horizon Forbidden West, Dying Light 2, Saints Row, Destiny 2: The Witch Queen, Sifu, and the Life is Strange Remastered Collection. So, oh, and now you have the Uncharted movie releasing on the same day as Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
I don't know
shit.
what the fuck is going on with February, bro, but yeah.
Shortest month.
They picked the shortest month too to just flood us with all this shit. It's crazy. But I don't think any of us are disappointed that it was delayed a month, but I'll leave it to you guys anyway. You guys have any thoughts on this, or Kevin? No? Yeah. I think Kevin, you and I are like part of that. We're gonna buy this game just to play it, but we know we're not gonna finish it. Crowd, whereas Mike is gonna go balls deep.
I'm not gonna.
Jordan.
I don't think I'm gonna buy the game. I'm gonna consider this a donation to the developers because because
Like
I'm not
Song
gonna
of
get
Fire.
any satisfaction from this game whatsoever, most likely, and it will make me want to drink or break things. So it'll be a nice donation for him. You're welcome.
Are you
in
fucking
advance.
serious, Pampa? Wait, no, you're fucking with me. There's
No,
way.
they just dropped some campaign trailer
What?
tomorrow. They
What
dropped
do you
the
mean?
announcement.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I have to.
This
no,
just
hell no.
in.
Wait. Please don't. Oh, for real? David Ellis.
face.
David Ellis. Who's
Look at that face.
senior designer on Halo Infinite. Oh my God. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. What's 2 p.m.? What is 2 p.m.? How does this happen why does this happen when I go live? Why?
Having a
Oh,
stroke, folks.
join us at 6 a.m. Pacific time to Monday.
6
So
a.m.
9 a.m. You're damn right. I'm waking up earlier for work. Oh, yes, baby. Yes. Oh. Guys, Pampa, you have done God's work. Guys, whoever's listening, I am sorry. Whoever's watching, and even in the future for the
I already
podcast.
knew, and I wasn't gonna tell him. So
Why would
good
you
fucking
not say
job,
anything?
Pampa, because
How
of that.
can you not?
I didn't want you to stroke out on the
Oh
show,
my
man. It was
God, look
for
how they
your
just
own
fucking
safety and
dropped
health.
it. Look how they just dropped it, just
I wanted
casually.
to protect you.
Oh my God, I am so
Yeah, that
excited.
GIF is fucking fire too.
Oh my
Yeah, it
God.
is.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, back to the show. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway, yeah. Elden Ring. Anybody disappointed, or do you guys want to move on to the bigger and better topic?
No, I got nothing on Elden Ring. If they need it, take it. It's really weird because February, or so it used to be, was the dump month for cinema. And with Uncharted coming out then, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why February is such a big thing, but shit. Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. This is amazing. Fuck, I'm still not over it. Wow. What a fucking shadow drop. Holy shit. Okay, awesome. All right, boys. Let's get to the next topic. All right. We woke up the other day. Obviously, there was a story that broke out from VGC. And Andy Robinson actually reported it. God bless you, Andy. You're always on fucking point. And he said basically that Ubisoft has greenlit what will be its first mainline Splinter Cell game in a decade. It's not clear which studios are working on the project, though two people with knowledge of Ubisoft's plans suggested the new Splinter Cell was being led by a studio outside of its traditional Montreal base. Ubisoft Montreal has always pumped out, in my opinion, the best ones. So this was like a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, first, I'm looking at this, I'm like, I can't believe what I'm reading. All right. And second, like, I mean, you know how they say beggars can't be choosers? Well, I'm not gonna fucking choose, right? Because like, I mean, we've talked and joked so much over the past year plus, you know, especially like letting it out on Twitter about something, you know, like Ubisoft gave up on this, blah blah blah. And now that it's coming, I don't care what fucking studio it comes from, to be honest with you. Now they haven't confirmed it yet, but for all intents and purposes, like, I mean, this was also corroborated by I believe Jeff Grubb as well, who, you know, love him or hate him, does have a, you know, a pretty good track record. The thing is they also had they apparently had a build, you know, that they showed people last year, right? So there was so right now apparently it's an early phase production, but they showed it to some of their testers to kind of like gauge to see like what they wanted to do. Yves Guillemot, who's the CEO of Ubisoft, he did say last year, he said the series needed to evolve before it could make a comeback. He's like, when you create a game, you have to make sure you will come back with something that will be different enough from what you did before. Last time we did a Splinter Cell, we had lots of pressure from all the fans saying, don't change it, don't do this, don't do that. So some of the teams were more anxious to work on the brand. So how about you fucking apply the same thing to, you know, it's Assassin's Creed, since it's just copied and pasted since Origins, but whatever. Anyway, and then they also said the new Splinter Cell could have Hitman-like elements, it's claimed. They said to have obviously greenlit it, like we said, but how they're going to, we don't know. But according to Jeff Grubb, he said in the weeks leading up to E3 2021, Ubisoft had fans play the upcoming Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake and something that had the appearance of a new Splinter Cell prototype. The testers did not spend a lot of time with the possible Splinter Cell game. Ubisoft provided a vertical slice that was just a basic tutorial section. But the version of this game combined familiar Splinter Cell action with elements of that 2016 Hitman reboot. Now, if you're looking at this and you're a Splinter Cell junkie, like I am, you're probably thinking like, oh, what are they going to do? Are they going to have him get into outfit changes or fucking disguises or whatever it is? I don't necessarily think so, but I do think that it's healthy to think about how they're going to do it. Like, look, man, if it's Splinter Cell, the shadows are not going to change. The whole thing with the dark and the shadows and the lighting and what really made him what really made the series what it is, but to move it forward, dude, come on, let's not fucking kid each other, right? Like, I mean, it's not just a matter of just like, hey, sneaking in, stay in the dark, kill everybody, get out, right? If you're gonna come up with something new, you do have to evolve the series a bit, and if it involves fucking disguises or however the fuck they're going to do it, I'm all for that, man. Only thing is, I hope it's confirmed. I hope we're not being fucking tugged, you know, like our heartstrings are not being tugged at, because I would be really fucking pissed. But for all intents and purposes right now, I'm going to believe it. I'm going to choose to believe it. Kevin?
Yo. So
Where you
I
at
actually,
I just went Iron Lungs, man. It's Splinter Cell.
I know. No. It's all good. We talked about this yesterday when I was on Mav's show and talking about how Ironside's getting old and, you know, they probably want to get him in there for another one of these before he, you know, passes away. And there's a lot they can do with this, man. There's a lot that they can do with this. I mean, they could retire him. They could kill off the character. They could continue the character. They could go Bond on this, and you know, continue Splinter Cell with different characters. You know, I just don't want them to do it dirty. That's it. That's my only thing. Like, I hope they go in with the white gloves and really treat Splinter Cell, you know, the way it deserves to be treated, because that shit's a classic, and Sam Fisher is my bae, so like they can't be half-assing this shit. I wouldn't even be opposed to seeing it move on from Sam Fisher, but it would need to be done, you know, tactfully or at least like extravagantly, something amazing and a good game, because you got to remember, man, every Splinter Cell that's ever come out, even the shitty ones, has been an 80+ game. Right, so they can't be releasing some fucking, you know, 65 Metacritic bullshit with the Splinter Cell name. So I mean, that's all I got. I'm excited. we've heard rumors that they've been toying around with Splinter Cell, and I think they're probably trying to figure out how to monetize the bitch. So,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe they leave that shit to the online mode, maybe like a mercenaries type thing, and have people pay for that. I hope they don't mess with the core gameplay. We'll see. But I'm always excited to hear about Splinter Cell. Like, that shit's one of my favorites.
I hope they don't monetize it, and I think that's the reason why I think people would really jump at their fucking throats if they decide to do something like that. You can't. Like, I mean, if you want to... I mean, this is Ubisoft we're talking about. I'm not going to fucking get into the whole thing that we've been bitching about for the past past year plus, but you can't. Or, I mean, I'm sure they probably figured it out somehow. You want to fucking give me skins? Fine. Give me skins. Give me whatever. I don't fucking care, right? I'm getting a...
Oh, no.
Are you moving, Kevin? I'm moving.
I'm moving. Mo froze.
Okay, I thought it was
froze.
my computer.
I thought it was mine too. Oh, we lost Mo.
Okay.
All right. We can, I hope he knows. Let's message him real quick.
I'm gonna remove him real quick.
All right. Yeah, his shit crashed. What about you, Mike? What do you feel about Splinter Cell?
I like it a lot. I like the idea. I never dove into it like as a young gamer when they were popular and coming out, but I really like that. But I really like that the remake would be happening, because then I'll be able to jump in it actually with a fresh mind going into it. See, my boy was Solid Snake, man. That's why.
Yeah.
So like when people are like, "Yo, Sam Fisher," I'm like, "Yeah, he's cool too," but infinite ammo, baby. You know what I'm saying? Solid Snake was always my guy, but I did play Conviction, the one where you go into that bathroom and you like jam his head on the sink. Yeah, that was cool. I really like Michael Ironside too. He's in a bunch of animated films for the voice. So I really dig his voice and the raspy he leaves. From what I'm aware, Kevin, Splinter Cell is like a little bit more personal. Right? Instead of like, oh, hey, dude, I need you to go in and do this complex mission, and it's mostly about the missions and stuff. But Splinter Cell is a little bit more about like Sam Fisher, right? Is that right?
It is. Like, it's always been centered around Sam, and it's always had intertwinings with his family, his daughter. All that shit has been in there, and there's definitely a storyline. So it is personal, and that's why I don't want them to do it dirty, right? I mean, I want them to if they're gonna take him out, Maybe have his daughter, take over, or maybe, who knows? You've had a 10-year span, right? So they could fill that in with whatever fucking storyline they want, that'll make it canon at this point. So. I mean, you could have him mentoring somebody. You could have could have a ton of different things just to continue on, because it's such a killer IP from Clancy that it would be sad to just kind of see it disappear. Because everything that's old is new again, right? So I mean, we haven't seen it in a while. Let's bring it back, man. Let's bring it back and bring it back in good fashion.
And so, Kev, if they were to like kind of give Sam his little farewell, like not only for Splinter Cell, but in normal, like your regular media, other media that you watch, if they brought back something from the old and came in with this new style, like, are you usually okay with the main character leaving behind a protege? Like, for example, would you be okay if Kratos died, because it makes sense being old, and then like Atreus comes up? Like, I think the whole idea with his daughter coming out, like, that'd be slick, dude. I think that's cool. I like that.
I think it would go into that realm of something like Kratos, this iconic character that you need to give up the throne, right? I mean, you could go on forever, I suppose, but to make it, I think if it's done respectfully, right, then that's all that matters. And some people are going to be upset, but as long as you don't do them dirty and just like, it's like watching part one of a movie and it has The Rock in it, and then part 2 of the sequel, The Rock is now replaced by somebody entirely different, but they never talk about it. You know, like
Yeah, right, right.
So don't do that. Like, have the fucking balls to retire him, you know, the way he needs to be retired. Yeah. I mean, that's all I have on my thoughts of Splinter Cell. I was thinking Mo probably still had some
Yeah, I
thoughts
feel
there.
like
It
what a
was
bad
felt
topic for
unfinished.
him.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. Well, he loves Splinter Cell. I don't think he loves it as much as Halo, but he is a Splinter Cell.
I don't know. I feel
fanboy.
like I hear him talk about Splinter Cell than Halo more than
You
Halo.
think so? Yeah, you know he.
What
I've
were
heard
your
him
thoughts,
say
Mo?
that Sam
You got cut off,
Fisher
bro.
could take out Master Chief. I've heard him say it.
Oh fuck, man! I'm sorry, guys. Yeah,
You're good,
my
man.
computer crashed, bro. And then the shitty thing is, to add insult to injury, is I had a bunch of fucking updates. Or like,
Updates. Oh my god.
please do not turn off your computer. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Now is not the time, man. But anyway,
Ain says
sorry.
to hurry up and get your Apple II working to get back on the stream.
yeah, I saw he
Oh,
was
shit.
messaging the group chat about Halo, and I'm like, hey, I just fucking crashed live while I was bitching about Splinter
Well,
Cell.
we went round table, man, but I know you had some unfinished thoughts on Splinter Cell.
No, that's fine, dude. I was just gonna say, Ironside. Yeah, I hope they get Ironside. I think that was probably the biggest issue that was wrong with the previous one, is the fact that I personally had no problem with it. I didn't like the hub too much, you know. I mean, but I was like,
I
all right,
agree.
whatever. I'm normally not a big hub person in games, but you know, just it's all a matter of taste. But I thought the gameplay was fantastic. I really loved what they did, like going you know, just kind of like playing out the missions in the way that you want. But yeah, bro, I couldn't fucking do it. I just couldn't do it. Normally, I'm not really the type of person, like when you get new characters or whatever, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Like Dante, for instance, you know, like with DMC Devil May Cry. That is my favorite Devil May Cry game. You know, I mean, the Ninja Theory one. So I didn't care. You know, people were just bitching about things that had already existed. So, you know, when they said like, oh, he's too immature, or his lines are so fucking childish, I'm like, he fucking named his guns Ebony and Ivory. Like, I mean, have you heard this guy talk? You know, I mean, God, you're so fucking hung up over his hair. But anyway, yeah, we'll see, man. Honestly, like, I mean, I just wanted to mention this. I could fucking talk hours about Splinter Cell, but as long as they have Ironside and they have a team dedicated to it, and they don't fuck us with monetization, too much monetization or whatever it is, I'll be happy with it. So yeah, definitely. Man.
While you were gone though, Mo, me and Kevin were talking about if they retired him.
Yeah.
Like, how would you feel about that? What would be a good way if they did?
What do you mean?
Like me and
retire
Kevin. So
Sam
me and
Fisher.
Kevin were like, all right. So if Sam does go away, because you know you got to give him the all. I mean, unless if you just want him to stick around and just do Splinter Cell games, you know. But if they did like kind of send him off as the old way, like the old man, like how would you want them to do that?
I'd be
I
fine.
feel like
You're talking about like a Wolverine type of ending, or not that
yes,
ending? But
yes.
But-
Or
but-
like if
but like a
Kratos
send-off.
dies and Atreus.
But a send off.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it, man. You know, if you want to close the fucking loop and you know you just want to give us closure, then that's fine.
Or
You know,
hand off the
I'm
torch somehow.
Look, here's the thing. They're doing this for two things. One, I hate to say
Money.
it, obviously because of all the people that are being loud about it, the fan service. Two, because they saw how well received Hitman was. Hence why it's also one of the driving factors behind it, or one of the inspirations
okay.
for it. So they know that there's a market for stealth games. There clearly is a fucking market
yeah.
for stealth games. People want them. You know, like, I mean, it went through a lull at some point until Hitman kind of like re-emerged again, and they were like, oh, hey, look how we're doing it now. And it was better and bigger, and, you know, than the way that it was. And obviously look at Hitman 3. It's on many Game of the Year lists, and it's and of those lists, it's Game of the Year for them. So they clearly did something very right with it. So they're just testing the market, and I think, you know, if the game ends up doing well, which I have no fucking doubt that it will, if they end up releasing it again, they'll release it more. I don't think they're doing this to retire him, to be honest with you. You know, like, I mean, I think they had their head in the ground because they just didn't know how to make it a gas game, because everything they make now is a live
no.
service game. Yeah. So,
Oh no.
but I digress. Yeah. So,
Whew.
We'll see.
God damn, I didn't even think that way, Mo. Holy
Yeah,
shit. Because to me, when I
think-
think Splinter Cell, I'm just thinking campaign game, stealth action, get into it, kind of like a MGS5 maybe. I'll
No,
take
but
Hitman-ish
That's
or
fine,
whatever.
dude. But the thing is people want
Yes,
Spies
though.
versus Mercs. Bring that shit
Yeah,
back.
they do.
Right?
Oh, what is
Spies
that?
versus Mercs and
That's their
Pandora
PvP.
tomorrow was amazing. Mike, you never played Spies versus Mercs?
What is it? Tell me.
Okay,
Is this a Splinter Cell PvP?
Really? Okay. So really quick, the way I'm gonna tell it to you is it was introduced in Pandora tomorrow, which is the second Splinter Cell. It's 2 versus
Okay.
2. The mercenaries are FPS, and you're the hunters, and the spies are third person, like Splinter, like when you're controlling Sam Fisher, and you're the spies. So the spies have like certain goals that they have to achieve, and you as the mercs have to hunt them down. You have guns and you have high firepower, and they basically can crawl through fucking vents and
Oh.
pipes and whatever. And if you get the drop on the mercs, you can snap their necks and kill them. And then you were able to talk shit into his fucking.
Yo!
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah,
That's sick.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You team
So,
up, make it super
yeah.
serious? Hell yeah.
I can't believe you never played it, but yeah, dude, it was fucking.
No, it
awesome.
sounds
was
awesome.
It was like really cool at the time. It was really unique. Spies versus Mercs now in Battle Royale. Don't fucking do that, Wild Boy. Come on, man.
I know he kills me. He kills me.
And then Nick's over here saying that sounds Sam Fisher battling his arthritic hand. Same arthritic hand
Yeah.
issues. Oh shit, but yeah, man. So we'll see. We'll see how they do it. And even if they bring that back, dude, if you want to make the multiplayer portion a gas game, I don't care. Right? Just give me a fucking campaign. I just want a good campaign. Whatever. Do whatever you want with it. Spies versus Mercs, of course we'll play it. A lot of us boomers will play it. It's awesome. And then if they find a way to introduce it to the newer crowd, to the newer generation, shit, hell yeah. Let's go, Barry. Let's go, man. All right. So that's enough of that. And then okay, I was gonna say like Xbox 20th anniversary event. I think I'm gonna skip that because there's not really, it's a look back at 20 years of Xbox. Honestly, man, I was gonna say maybe they'll fucking show Halo Infinite footage, but now that we just found out that they're gonna show it tomorrow, so I think we'll wait. That's on November 15th, so not really much to discuss there outside of like expectations, but we can always save that for another day. All right. One of the big topics this week is God of War, finally confirmed and coming to PC January 2022. Sony said they can create striking visual quality unique to the platform. So it will release on January 14th, 2022 to Steam. They said full potential of our, PC users can now see full potential of our cinematic, no-cut camera, true 4K resolution. None of that stupid fucking dynamic shit. And also includes wide graphical range of presets and options, so you can fine tune it as you please. Higher res shadows, improved screen space reflections to the ambient occlusion pipeline with GTAO, SSDO, all this shit that Kevin knows that I don't. And then they also said that they're happy to announce that they'll have full integration with DLSS, which is the NVIDIA's deep learning super sampling available on RTX cards. So you won't have to sacrifice high graphical fidelity settings and output resolutions for high performance in God of War. This is fucking awesome. The only reason I mentioned this is because this is now coming. January is going to be 3.5 years after the game originally 3.5 years after it originally came out. Came out in April 2018. I'm not going to get into my love of God of War or whatever it is, but me personally, I looked at this and I thought it was fucking awesome. I was very, very happy to see this because, this is like the ultimate version of God of War, right? And it sucks that it came 3.5 years later, but at the same time, look at the hype that it generated and the excitement, and all of a sudden it shoots up to the #1 game on Steam immediately, like less than an hour after it was after the pre-orders opened up, shoots up to the top right away. Sony's looking at this. They bought Nixxes. They bought, they're trying to go hardcore into the PC space now, in terms of like bringing their games. And they're like, okay, it's been 3+ years since this game came out, and it's still well regarded as one of the best games of the past generation, if not ever, too. one of the best games ever made. And now this is giving it more space and more money and more whatever. And then look what happened with Horizon Zero Dawn. Once it released on PC, I think they said like they made 250% back of what it cost them to develop it for PC, like within 8 months or some shit like that. So they know that they have hits on their hands and people on PC want to play them. If you're salty about this, and because you have I'm not going to get mean, but or maybe I will. I don't know, bro. I mean, if you're salty about this, just get a fucking life, honestly, man. It's not going to lessen the value of your $500 PlayStation 5 that you paid for. This is the future. This is where we are. They're going to continue to go down this path, and they're going to continue to bring these games. I don't think it'll be now. When they did say that it's going to be situational, or like it'll be dependent on the game, I don't think it's going to be every 3 years from now on. I'm guessing probably like maybe a maximum of 1 year, a year and a half or something like that, because they still want to give it enough time to they still want to bait people to play their games on PlayStation, right? Make no mistake about it. They still want you to buy their consoles, and they still want you to play them on their consoles. But now, with what Jim Ryan said, and them trying to like break out of that space, break out of like just the single platform, and kind of like just delve into other platforms, hence PC, hence Nixus and whatnot. And also, obviously, that comes with it the financial gain that you get with it. I do think that time is going to be really shortened compared to before. But Kevin, God of War PC, you saw all of the
I did.
Yeah, you saw all of the shit. So how does that look to you, man?
People are salty. It's funny. I have a lot to say. I could do a whole fucking show on this, but it's fantastic. I'm glad PC players will be able to play this. I just want to say that most PCs that are out there are going to fall in like the minimum spec category and are not going to have all that awesomeness that you just listed, right? So only people that have nice PC rigs are going to experience 4K, and only people that have RTX cards that you have a better chance of finding a kidney on a sidewalk than getting a card are going to experience DLSS. But if you have a nice rig, man, this thing's going to be awesome. I'm waiting for some sweet, screenshots from the dudes running 3090s.
Sing, bro.
Oh yeah. No, it's going to make people's eyes bleed, I think. So I'm excited to see that. I can't wait for the screenshots to come out because it is a beautiful game already. I'm thinking that with this, I wonder if we're not going to get like a definitive edition or some sort of legit upgrade for the PS5 too.
Yeah.
Since we already know they have the assets sitting there, because they must have done it for this PC release. Either way, man, it gives PC players, a chance to experience this great game, and that's it. I mean, that's the final thing, right? It gives another group of people a chance to experience a game, and that's why we do what we do, and that's what we love. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. It's good news.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And again, because especially for people 3080s, 3090s, man, this shit is gonna fucking sink. To this day, this game is still one of the best looking games I've ever seen. It holds up. It's only 3.5. I mean, still, we say like 2018, but bro, yeah, look at how fucking good it looks now. So there was 2 updates for it, Kev. The first update was when the PS5 first released, you can play performance mode and locked 60 FPS. But remember, performance mode on the PS4 Pro was in 1080p, right? And then a few months ago, they upgraded it even more to now you can play quality mode, which is dynamic 4K, and you can play it in the locked 60. And I remember Digital Foundry did something on it, and they said they did.
And it looked great then too, right? But I wonder if they will have increased textures and so forth.
Oh yeah,
maybe
no
I totally see a definitive edition coming. I really
I
do.
hope
Maybe
so.
maybe even packaged with Ragnarok, kind of
No.
like a spider. No, you think so?
No.
Okay.
You like Miles
like a spider.
Morales?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Like packaged
Ooh,
with
you heard
that.
it here first, but you heard it
I
fucking
know.
here first.
Breaking
Yes.
news. Breaking
Yeah.
No, I mean it could work.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely, man. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, for sure. I think so too. Wow, that's a good point. But yeah. So PC and again, like we were saying, giving it a second life and whatnot. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is it sold as of August 2021, 19.5 million copies of God of War for PlayStation 4 have been sold. That's one platform, bro. 19.5 million copies on one platform. So, whoever says that, attach rate or whatever it is, yeah, sure, 140 PS5s or PS4s, 140 million and 20 million only, bought God of War, but still, there are games that are on 5 or 6 platforms that don't even sell half of that, so yeah, dude, it's a fucking beast, and now you're bringing it to PC and sky's the limit for the franchise, and this generates even more hype for Ragnarok. People play it on PC, and now they're gonna be like, "Oh, fuck! Do I really want to wait until the sequel comes to PC?" That's part of like the whole marketing strategy. So it's pretty impressive, man. Yeah, man. So Mike, I'm gonna get to you. What do you think, man? Bizzle, what's up, baby? Good to see you here. Mike, your mic is muted, homie.
Sorry, my son was jumping up in the stairs. He was making noise.
It ain't worse than you. Yours ain't worse than mine.
Yeah, I'm very happy for it. My first reaction was like, cool, people who haven't been able to experience it can now experience it, and I can only wonder what it feels like on a mouse and keyboard if they play it on mouse and keyboard, but you know what I mean. Dude, I bet that shit is going to look so clean. I really wish like I had the rig to support that kind of stuff, because I would just go out of my way to buy it just for the looks. You know what I mean? And yeah, Mo, you're right. I was thinking what Kevin was saying about the bundle deal, like Spider-Man 2, because if they do have the assets waiting and ready, it's like, I don't know, a bundle deal would look really, really clean and really nice to get on a PlayStation 5, probably sell just as well. But yeah, I think it's all around good, because I mean, PC players, they're always talking about the Master Race stuff. This is just side jargon joke shit anyways, but they're always talking about the Master Race stuff. But I'm always like, but have you played God of War? That's what I always say. God of War is like the PlayStation thing that I always say when people are like, well, what about this or what about that? And I don't have a PlayStation. Well, it's like, have you played God of War though, bro? Because that game is one of a kind, like hands down, from the moment the first one came out to like this brand new reimagined version of Kratos. Yeah, this remake or whatever. Like, it is a unique game through and through. And for PC people, and I know there's a shitload of those people, it's just gonna be, Kratos is gonna. I mean, depending on how the story goes, but Kratos is gonna come up as one of those like legends in gaming. You know what I mean? But yeah, awesome for PC dudes.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Oh yeah. Look forward to it, baby. Fanboys. Oh, AIDS, bro. Yeah, I know, man. I fucking know. Trust me, man. I know. And he's talking about Halo, guys. That's what it is. Oh, you should have seen my face.
Oh, we're talking about God of War.
Oh, no. He's talking.
Yeah, I know.
I'm joking. Found out while we were live when Pampa dropped it. And I'm like, what? Fucking stopped everything. Just dead, just so I can confirm it. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay. Next topic I'm going to mention is Cyberpunk and Witcher 3. The new gen versions are now delayed to 2022. So CD Projekt Red has allocated additional development time to both titles. They said the PS5 and Series X/S versions of both Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3 are now going to come in 2022. Cyberpunk is scheduled in the first quarter of 2022, and The Witcher 3 is planned for the second quarter of 2022. Both games were originally due later this year. Yeah, I don't think any of us really mind, especially for, people like me, for instance, who, we talked about Cyberpunk from before and whatever, and I really think that obviously they learned their lesson, and now that's why they're allocating more time for this, because they're like, we're not gonna fucking do this shit again. Like, I mean, if we can't meet this deadline, so be it. That's not a chance that they want to take again. And to be honest with you, I think it's good. Let them do it. Let them take care of it. I think it needs to be some sort of relaunch for the game. And honestly, when they plan to launch the Series X and PlayStation 5 versions is really when the game should have launched to begin with. Right? I think we can all agree that it could have definitely benefited from another year and a half of development time, with everything that has happened historically to it since release. But yeah, I think, if they manage to somehow get that marketing thing in play where they confirm to people and they kind of like ease their fears, and they show them like, hey, this is what we've been doing, guys. We're fucking sorry. This is what's going on. And then they obviously incentivize people to actually play the game or buy the game again or whatever it is. So I'm looking forward to it. And then The Witcher 3 speaks for itself. It's one of the greatest games ever made. So I think people are definitely okay with waiting on that. But yeah. Kev, Mike, you guys got anything on Cyberpunk and The Witcher 3 being delayed?
Just shitty games. I mean, God, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What's shitty
games?
Oh,
I just have to wake you up. No, I'm excited for Cyberpunk. I think I'm still waiting on this, so fuck it. I'll wait till next year to play it on my Series X. I bought the game on release, played like 15 hours, liked it, but it was kind of buggy, and I decided to just shelve it. The Witcher 3, they can do what they want with that game, but the combat's still going to suck. And I'm still never going to play it, I think. So I'll never finish that game. I will never finish that game.
Ains is not on the show to fucking, if you want to.
I know. Well, no,
shit.
that's why. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it, because he can't come and beat my ass over.
If he wants the invitation link, just say the word, homie.
But yes, I have no actual logical argument as to why I hate The Witcher, other than the combat is meh, but it's only because I'm not good. I've played The Witcher. It just loses me. It's like it's such an epic saga that I don't think I've ever been in the right mindset to play it, or it's my 72 IQ that is hindering me from ever finishing it. I don't know. It's one of those. I could never get into it, and maybe it's the setting or the time setting. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad they're taking their fucking time, because we need them to release a product that works. We don't need any more memes. And did you guys notice that they did not release that announcement with the yellow background? I thought that was funny. Yeah, there was no yellow background anymore.
Yes,
they're just fucking trying to bury. They're trying to
background.
bury Cyberpunk or some shit. Just forget it ever happened.
Well, it was from the CDPR account. It wasn't from the Witcher account, and it wasn't from the Cyberpunk account. I think they fucking had enough of the Cyberpunk account.
I think they probably did.
Yeah, for sure, man. Oh yeah. And Nick's here is saying he picked up the console version of Cyberpunk for $10 with the delay. I'll wait until next summer to play it. Dude,
Perfect.
Yeah. Look, man, if you're ever thinking about playing Cyberpunk, now would be the best time to buy it on console. You're going to get it super cheap, because all of the fucking upgrades, the graphical upgrades and whatever, are definitely going to come. And hopefully by that time, if you haven't upgraded to a Series X or a PS5, you'll probably have one by then, assuming you will. So you'll get all of that new hotness at the time. So best time to get it now is now, because it's so cheap. Mike, you're like one of the only humans I personally know who actually played Cyberpunk on a base PS4. You have done God's work, bro. Yeah,
and
you're muted, Mike. I know, bro. It's because of his kid.
It wasn't peak performance, but
It wasn't?
I felt yeah,
Really?
right. I felt what it had to offer, though, and I really liked it. So I like this. They need to. That's a smart thing that they didn't put the yellow background, because they need to bury it, and they need to put it away for a little bit, so whenever they do bring it back and they're like, but it works this time, it'll hit a little bit better. Witcher 3, I mean, that is, to me, Kevin, come on. Come on, Devil Dog. What?
Mm-hmm.
Witcher 3, baby? Just throw him with it. Hit him with fire. Play on the easy mode. No, but I feel you, man. I think that game, though, to me, is one of those games that you could play it multiple times and do a bunch of different stuff and have a different experience every time you play it because it's so huge and the world is so detailed and it has just a bunch of characters in it, bunch of cool little side stories. Like I always mention this, like a side story is just as deep and just as equal to like a main campaign story or what have you. I think that's very, very cool. I know I myself have like 3 versions of The Witcher 3 just because I think it's so rad, like the complete digital edition and some other deluxe like physical edition or whatever it is with the keychain and stuff, which is dope as shit. Kev, the show didn't spur on anything more like when it was popular? Or
I watched the entirety of the show. It was okay. It was all right. Like,
but nothing enough to like grip you and be like, I gotta play the game right now.
All right. Nothing that Henry does. It's Henry, right? Cavill.
Yeah.
Nothing he does anything for me. The dude
really?
is like,
oh, no.
yeah, the dude to me is like Kristen Stewart.
But the male version.
But the male version, like he's got the same facial expression. He looks dumb as fuck. And he can't act worth a damn. But that's just me. Like I'm pretty highbrow here, you know. I'm hoity-toity. Like I like my acting. I only watch French movies and playwrights, right? I mean, I'm highbrow shit. So Henry needs some acting classes because he's awful. He was an awful Superman.
What? I loved him as Superman, Cam.
He was an awful. He was an awful detective dude. He was an awful Sherlock in that Netflix Sherlock shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He was awful then. I mean, there hasn't been a single fucking show or movie with him in it that he's done anything for me. Like he's been in good shit, but it's not because of him. Like they could put a cardboard cutout instead of him.
I love this dude too, and I love what you're saying.
Voiced by fucking Siri, all right, and it would do the same for me. Yeah.
He might be the new James Bond too, by the way. Maybe.
Oh god,
he's in the talks.
He doesn't do anything for me at all. I'm sorry, Henry. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but yeah. So that's
what
I got.
Bro.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
funny,
sorry.
bro.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be sued.
Bro,
now.
hey, seriously, Ainsl's right here, man.
I'm
really
a wider
fucking
version.
territory.
I'm just a wider version of Joe. That's all it is. That's me. Somebody's got to do the job of keeping it 100, yo.
This is bad, bro. This is really bad. I love you, but what the fuck is going on, man? Diego, you fucking loser. I love you. What's up, baby? How you doing, man? Oh shit, dude. Yeah, so I don't even know how the fuck we ended up getting into Henry Cavill, but
I don't know.
We
should move on.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's just fucking move on, man. I don't know what the hell just happened.
Oh shit.
Okay. This is cool. I tweeted about this a couple of days ago. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but Matt Booty, if you he was on the Kind of Funny Games cast the other day. Unfortunately, he had to do it with Tim Geddes, who's fucking terrible, and with Blessing as well. Or not Blessing. I'm sorry. What's the name of the guy? One of the hosts of the Kind of Funny X cast, their Xbox podcast, whatever. Anyway, they had Matt Booty on. If you don't know who Matt Booty is, he is the head of Xbox Game Studios. Okay, so they were just asking him a lot of questions. I think it's really cool if you listen to the entire podcast. It's really, the guy's really freaking down to earth, man, and he knows what he wants. And then they also asked him about the software portfolio. You know, I mean, and they talked about Game Pass and whatever. Now, he did say that he acknowledged the need for Xbox to deliver the kind of immersive AAA experiences. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Here it says that has become I mean, yeah, that makes sense. So he's saying that he acknowledges the need for Xbox to deliver the kind of immersive AAA experiences that have become synonymous with Sony. that we know, right? Like, I mean, whether you're a Sony lover or a hater, you can't deny the fact that their AAA games, we were just talking about God of War, for instance, their AAA games are usually fucking heavy hitters, you know? So he did say, now this is one of the things that, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because of the way that words are interpreted sometimes, you know, especially by cucky accounts or whatever, you know? So he said he would like Xbox to have one of those types of games in its lineup. He did praise PlayStation's output. He said hats off to Sony and their studio system and the leaders for what they got. It's fantastic. You can't argue with the quality and the craft and the games that they've delivered, and that they're working now on the stuff. And then with what we've seen so far, so kudos to them. But he did say he wants to make sure that we are paying attention to fan expectations. I think there's a certain kind of game that generates an anticipation that kind of becomes this big tentpole moment. The whole point of this is he's saying we are looking at them and we see what it is that they're doing, but at the same time, we don't want our Uncharted. We don't want our Horizon, right? Like, they don't want to look at it as just like, oh, Sony has a Horizon, so what's your Horizon? Sony has a Uncharted. What's your Uncharted? They want to look at it like, let's just look at it from the Halo perspective, right? Xbox has Halo. What's Sony's answer to Halo, right? Sony doesn't have a shooter under their AAA tentpole. That first of all, they don't have any FPS shooters, you know, that they're developing, you know, at least from before. And second, like, that's something that Xbox can claim, whereas Sony can't, right? Like, I mean, so, and I see what he's saying from this perspective. Like, I respect what the competition is doing, and I love it. And obviously, that's why they grew and they bought and they expanded and they want to delve into that big AAA space, you know, like Perfect Dark and Fable and whatever. Like, I mean, and we know that all these games are coming. But at the same time, what I liked what he said is we want to also create our, you know, like for our fans, and like we want to put our brand on these games, so they're only synonymous with us, not looked at as just like, oh, well, they have this, so we need to do something like that. You know, it's like, I love his response because it's kind of like, I respect the competition, and at the same time, that pushes us, you know, and that makes us strive to continue to improve and to really do our own thing. Whereas when you have these fucking podcasts or whatever that read this, and they'll be like, Matt Booty said they don't need to replicate Sony's model. Don't fucking fall for that bullshit, bro. Of course he's saying we don't need to replicate Sony's model. He is acknowledging, though, that the AAA game space does work, and that is really what he's giving his hats off to in terms of Sony. And that's why they've expanded and they've bought all these studios. So I respect that, man. I really, really loved his answer, and I really look forward to seeing what they have. But I want to see what you guys said. What do you think?
I had no idea that this was a thing, so I watched it, but you know, before the show, and and I thought he was super transparent and just
Yes.
honest, right?
Yes.
But he also didn't go too I don't know, too complacent, I guess. He didn't give I mean, he gave the respect to Sony, but he also talked up his brand, right?
Yeah.
So I like that, because I mean, that's honesty. Of course, you're going to see takes like on the opposite of what you just said. You're going to see takes like, oh, Matt Booty, you know, says that PlayStation's better than Xbox, and we have no games. But yeah, no, they are and have been trying to create their own ecosystem, their own brand, and their own experiences. And that shit takes time. Sony is an expert at that at this point. That's what they've always focused on. And I mean, it is what it is. That's why multiple consoles exist, just like multiple cars and multiple televisions and multiple everything, right? I mean, so yeah, I kind of like that there are different experiences and different ecosystems between the platforms. You don't buy a truck to commute to work, and you don't buy a commuter car to, you know, haul off a trailer, you know? So I like that interview. It was good. You know, I'm not familiar with the Kind of Funny show. I don't watch them all that often.
I haven't watched them in a long time.
But Matt Booty got a lot of airtime there, so that was good. Yeah, he had a solid like 30-minute segment of him just talking about Xbox. So definitely check that out.
For sure. Mike, you're you're someone that's new into the fairly new or newer into the Xbox ecosystem nowadays. Like, I mean, and you've been loving what you've been seeing, and this is just this early, and now obviously you got Halo coming up and whatever. So, do you agree? I mean, do you see what we're saying though? Like, it's kind of what Diego just said as well. He's like, don't chase Sony's pedigree, but create your own. He's respecting it. He's telling you, like, yeah, this is what we want, but we want our own. We want to put our own stamp on it. I love that, bro. I
do too. I actually kind of have to live by that rule whenever you're doing content creating or whatever. Even when I was like making my own videos, like, like the only way you're going to get your brand going is if you put work into it. And, I mean, what kind of production would he have if you just sat and talked about like, oh, Sony this and Sony that all the time? Like, we're like, all right, hey, fans don't want to listen to you talking bad about Sony. Fans want to listen to what's the good about Xbox.
Sure.
I did specifically catch like that first good chunk of like 20 minutes he was talking, whenever he was talking just more about the industry stuff and more about like, when we pass news or pass word on saying that like this section has been redirected to another part, or this studio has like done this whatever certain thing, he's like, that's like a very broad statement, you know what I mean? Like, and I really like that he was talking about that stuff, because at the end of the day, it's a group of people working on these games that we love. It's a group of people that have to solve problems every day to get the game running in tip-top shape. And so whenever I see these bad takes, like I say bad takes or whatever, but whenever I see somebody who is making something very big about a very small little piece of news or some drama type of piece, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like maybe they're either doing it on purpose, or they're not understanding like how a big company or a big group of individuals like have to work together. And he was sitting there explaining that, and my boy Matt Booty knew my boy Ed Boon from Mortal Kombat back in Midway, so they kind of had a little conversation about that, and I was like, yo, you OG, I like you, I like that last name too. But yeah, I just really liked how he was breaking stuff down, and to me it was just kind of like, dude, thank you, like, finally. But you know what, I know like those hardcore like sides won't really listen to that like kind of stuff, because they're like, oh man, you can't take away my like drama piece for the show tonight or whatever it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just really liked how he was breaking it all down. Like, you got certain leaders in charge, and then you got like a group of people underneath them, and you have Xbox, brand on the top that owns 23 studios. He was even like, he was like, yeah, we talk about 23 studios a lot, but I mean, like, ideally it's like a group of people, owning or like creating, being a creative designer, like with each studio. So realistically, it's like 50 something odd, main boss, like, people in these studios, and all the word has to get filtered through to, their workers and stuff like that. And I feel like that gets very confusing with some games, and like the way people talk about games, like, I don't know, like, hey, why can't you just add this to the game? Well, I don't know. That'll take a month and a half to render all that shit and figure out the coding for it. Like, yeah, sorry, even by the time you want it, you're going to come up with 20 other things that you don't like that we should put in the game, and that makes us behind. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of trends where it's just like, I don't know, they're just talking about a bunch of stuff that they don't know about. And he kind of explained it like very simplistically, and I really liked that. I really enjoyed that. He seemed like a really chill dude for being like such a high up dude. You know what I mean? Where you would almost be intimidated as like a regular worker, like, oh shit, it's the head guy or whatever. But he seemed like really cool, really nice guy, like laying it all down, So seemed like a really cool conversation, and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, definitely, man. So I would at least, I tell you guys to check it out for sure. All right, let's go to Xbox storage expansion cards. Okay, so I bought the 1 terabyte expansion card when the Series X launched. Did I need it? No, but still, it's cool. I mean, it was I realized at the time 1 terabyte, $220, a little bit steep. I mean, sometimes you see it on sale for like $180, $185 if you're lucky. Somewhere around there. But still, like, it's not going to drop anything less than like 180, 185 bucks for a terabyte. So Xbox now introduced a new 2 terabyte and 512 gigabyte storage expansion cards only made by Seagate. Once again, it's still in the proprietary form, still made by Seagate. 2 terabytes is 400 bucks, and the 512 gig is 140 bucks. I'm gonna let Kevin take over on this one, because I know, like, he had a lot to, I me personally, I think Sony's way of doing it, by having, multiple manufacturers make the cards, just creates more of a more competition and actually drives the prices down a bit. Hasn't happened yet. Shit's still expensive, but what do you think of this, man? Because 400 bucks for a storage card, bro. 400 bucks. Imagine somebody. Go ahead, man.
Okay. I know. $400 is steep. It's a 2 terabyte card. They also have the 512, which is going to be like 160, 170, some shit like that, right? Which will be a nice option for the Series S. But back to the focus of the 2 terabytes. This is 2 terabytes of NVMe storage crammed into like some proprietary compact flash card that sticks into the back of your shit, right? Amazing, yeah. At this point, they should have gotten other manufacturers in on this shit. They have not, and that is going to be a problem if it continues. I don't think the prices will not be driven down, right, by other competitors pricing their shit lower or having slightly inferior products. Still pros and cons here. The price of NVMe storage is expensive as fuck, and 2 terabytes of a PCIe Gen 4 NVMe is still about that price. Yes, you could get 2 terabytes for $350 or $360 at this point. Not much less, but definitely less. And that's all market driven, right? So you can get it from any manufacturer. You can choose AData and Team Group and have a slightly cheaper one, or you could go with the Samsungs and the Western Digitals and pay a little more. But at least there's options. I still think that the swappability of it is nice. I think not having to crack open your console is nice, but I was really hoping that they'd have other manufacturers delivering similar products at this point. And that's disappointing, and they should fix that. They should open this up to the big names, the Western Digitals, the Samsungs, and have them build some drives for the Xbox. To have it just locked behind Seagate is never a good thing. You don't want a proprietary solution like this behind one vendor. Slowly but surely, prices will go down too, because PCIe Gen 5 will come out, and that will inevitably lower prices on the slower drives. So we're going to see lowering prices on drives that are compatible with the PS5, but that's just not going to happen, I think, until more competition comes in and other makers other hard drive manufacturers start making drives for this. Because you can't sell me on a 2 terabyte for $400 right now. I'm just not fucking doing it. Yeah, I'm not fucking doing it. It's not going to happen. That's as much as a console. You'd almost be better off getting an SSD, plugging it into the USB slot, and transferring your games fairly quickly that way, right? You don't have to go full mechanical hard drive, which I still have, by the way, for my older games. I just run it off like a 5 terabyte, a 5 terabyte drive, mechanical, that cost me like $90, 5 terabytes. So the disparity is huge still, because this is fast storage, right? This is super lightning quick storage that you have here. So I don't know, man. The price is still fair, but I don't fair in terms of the market, but I don't know how much longer that's gonna last. Yeah. With the Sony side being able to take that standard NVMe drive.
No, I agree. And Diego here actually said something. He said, "Do we think Seagate made pretty good money on them?" What the fuck is wrong with this damn thing? Get out of here, man. Here we go. Yeah. So that it's possible that they approached Microsoft to extend the deal. I do agree the exclusivity should have been over by now. More brands should get in on it. So I think at some point it will. But the other thing too is this is where I look at this, right? If you really look at the card itself, it's really fucking awesome, right? It is proprietary, but they managed to squeeze all that. Like usually, like the NVMe, the M.2 that we get are like sticks, right? They're about about 6 inches or whatever the fuck it is. Spare me the fucking jokes, but yeah. So it's about 6 inches or whatever
About
it is.
6 inches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 6 inches. So and they managed to make it so compact into like.
It's impressive.
It's fucking impressive, man. It really, really is, and just to plug straight back into the back of the console, PCI Express. I look at that and I'm like, okay, that engineering costs money. It costs money.
It does.
And then on top of that, the pricing for the engineering and for the luxury of just plugging in. Let's not fucking forget that too, right? You're paying for engineering, you're paying for luxury, and you're paying obviously fair market value. We look at it as just like, fuck, man, $400 for 2 terabytes. Like, I mean, bro, $100 more, and that's a Series X. That 2 terabytes costs more than a Series S. You know what I mean? So I look at it both ways, man, and it's fucking hard because I see the price justified from the perspectives I mentioned, but at the same time, fuck, $400.
That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man. Mike, you have a Series S, okay, and you have a 512 gigabyte card inside. Are you ever thinking about getting a 1 terabyte or a 512, that they have for 140, or you're just gonna just do like an external drive, swap games in and out? It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really like doing the whole extra work to play my games. I really like having it all on there. If once I feel like after Halo and a little bit into 2022, if my library starts to get a little, overwhelming or whatever, I probably will, because I really do appreciate like just jumping on, getting my shit together, whatever game I want at the time, which could be, one of many, honestly.
Sure.
I want it to be there. Kev, you were talking some... That was going on.
Sorry, man.
No, it's okay though. But it's like interesting to realize, like, because I don't really think about that stuff, like engineering and stuff like that. So like,
there's
I learned
a lot
thing or
that
two.
went into that. It's impressive.
Yeah,
it's impressive.
Yeah,
but I don't know that they sold a whole lot of these too. Is what I'm thinking. People are like in your mindset, Mike, where they're like,
exactly.
Maybe do I really need it? It's kind of pricey. Yeah. But the convenience is 100%, like what you said.
Yeah.
Like just having your games ready.
Like, I do feel like we are at a point in gaming where 1 terabyte is not really that much.
It's not.
Right. 2 terabytes, not bad. I can put a good handful of games on there. But and you're saying 4 terabytes, Kev? 5 terabytes?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you can go. There's 4 terabyte, NVMe drives. I was actually fully expecting them to come out with a 4 terabyte, but that shit would be like $700.
I mean, I guess
thought
it's
these
good
consoles would be 2. I honestly thought that the base Series X would have been a 2 terabyte console, but it turns out it wasn't, right? Probably for pricing. But that would have made this so much better, because you'd be starting with 2 terabytes and not just 1. And 1's nothing, and these games are getting bigger.
Yeah,
bigger and bigger.
Yes,
the textures, the sound, all that shit. So pretty soon you're gonna have to get in, and Game Pass doesn't help at all for people trying new games. We're gonna be buying fucking storage, dude.
Forza Horizon 5 is 105 gigs.
We're gonna be buying storage. Avengers is 120 gigs.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Fucking dude, these games are gigantic. Call of Duty, Warzone itself is like 80 or 90 gigs. The whole package is like 250 gigs. I mean,
the only thing I could say on the plus end, it'd be a one-time buy, and you'll probably be set for a good while. And if you can find it cheaper, you know what I mean. But
so what I have, Mike, is I have I bought the SanDisk SSDs, the SanDisk Extreme SSDs. They're external SSDs. They're 1 terabyte each. So I have 2 of those plugged into my Series X, and then I have the storage expansion, and then I just obviously have the internal. So like that's like a total of 4 terabytes that I have attached to it. I'm not gonna get this 2 terabyte one. I'm just not, like, I mean, because I have 2 terabytes of internal, like, I mean, of the M.2 memory, I mean, and that for me is like, it's because if I get the 2 terabyte, then the 1 terabyte is a wash. I'm not gonna fucking swap out cards. Me personally.
Not
You want the convenience. That's
gonna
the purpose.
stay in there. Like whatever I buy is gonna stay in there. So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, man, it's just it's amazing, man. What are these guys saying? 69. Oh, he's not 69 gigs. Fucking guy, man. Wiley.
I know.
I know. Hopefully one time they will at some point, because Pampa here, I did put this up a little bit ago. He did say, Jason Ronald did say that other companies are going to be making different sizes and whatever. So maybe we'll start seeing that drop in prices. But at some point, yeah, we'll see. Sell your 1 terabyte for $100. Fuck that shit. Hell no.
He's trying to scam you on the live. That's amazing.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's see the okay. This is gonna be a funny conversation. All right, boys. Uncharted trailer.
Yes.
Okay. I would say let's play it in the background, but I don't want to get DMCA'd like we did last week. So I guess we could put like stills if
I got a picture.
Anyway, all right, so I was telling these guys, I'm like, look, man, I don't want to spend too much time on this, right? Like, first of all, I agree with a lot of people say, I like Tom Holland. He's cool. He's a good actor. He's just not fitting that Nathan Drake. He's not doing it for me, right? And then obviously you have Sully, who's played by Mark Wahlberg, who's really not fucking doing it for me at all.
Yeah.
Like he's just not. Yeah. And then I said, I'm like, you know what, man? I'm like, I think as gamers, we will always be underwhelmed with any movie, that tries to replicate a 15-hour experience, right? Like, I mean, it's hard. It's hard to squeeze in all these experiences into a 2-hour experience, and that's under the assumption that it's going to do what the game did, but in this case, like, it's doing its own story. So it is an original story, or at least it's a prequel to the first Uncharted. So as far as I know, which I thought was fucking weird, considering that, they had the cargo plane scene from Uncharted 3. Right. So I know they used that as as an inspiration, for that scene, but whatever. Okay, I digress from that. But then I said, I'm like, if we just look at these as just fucking fun popcorn flicks, like, that's how I looked at it. I watched it 3 times, and like, as I kept watching it, even like by the 3rd time, I'm like, okay, this movie looks fun, right? Like, I mean, it looks fun from a fun perspective, and from like an Uncharted type of like popcorn flick, because that's what we call Uncharted, right? Uncharted is a playable popcorn flick. That's what we've always loved about these games. Obviously, the characters are great. They're well written. I mean, they have a lot of personality, and that's obviously the biggest, one of the biggest driving factors and why we ended up loving these characters and these stories. But, if you just look at it as a popcorn flick, as a fun popcorn flick, and less of like, this is not my Uncharted, I think that will probably end up being happy. Oh, yep, you do. Yeah, you got busted vaping.
What?
Oh shit, that's awesome. I think if we looked at it, and Nick's here, he's actually saying it as well. He's like, it's an origin story, so yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think. And yeah, Nix, I agree with you, bro. I'd rather watch and not play an Uncharted game than watch the Uncharted. Yeah, well, we'll see. But Kevin, what do you think about this?
So in our chat, I said I liked it, but I'm coming at it like a popcorn flick, right? I think it'll be fun. I think my wife will like it. I think I will come out of it damaged, just like I did like when I watched Doom, and then I watched Doom again, and then it was still shitty. But
Doom was terrible.
Doom was terrible. But then they came out with a like a straight to DVD one like a couple years back, and I watched that shit, and that was just as bad. Although I might actually have been better than the first one, which is still, I don't even know, right? So here's my issue, right? Mark Wahlberg is not old enough and does not look old enough and doesn't have a mustache to be Sully. And Tom Holland, he could work himself into a young Nathan Drake, I guess. That is more believable than Mark Wahlberg being Sully. There's going to be no cigar smoking because, they get like protests from the anti-tobacco campaign. That's not Sully. That is just Mark Wahlberg, right? I mean, that's not Sully. That's Mark Wahlberg. Hey, look at some of these statues. To your mother for me. Yeah, hey, these statues are worth a lot of money.
What are they doing here?
Hey,
this is Peter Parker, and I won't hear it.
Where'd you park the car? I mean, it's bad, dude. So I'm gonna go in it with an open mind. I think it'll be all right. I just want it to be okay because I would love to see more of these stories come just for the exposure of to video games, right? To have people be like, oh shit, that's a video game, right? Maybe I should play it. Where do I play it on? How do I play it? That's always good exposure for the industry and for gaming. But if it sucks, then I'm just gonna be disappointed. Like, let's just hope it's Fast and the Furious good. That's all I got. Like, if it reaches that kind of level of just cheesery, but being okay and being watchable, that's all I want, man. Just don't make me want to walk out of the theater.
I don't think I don't think it'll be like that, to be honest with you. I think it'll be fun, at the very least. Nix is okay with Sully's look. He's saying it's an origin story. Wahlberg
That's
puts
true.
his age.
That's
Dude,
true.
You know
he
what?
is younger, but
Fine,
the mustache.
I agree. But you know what? If you guys remember in Uncharted 3 in the Dominican Republic,
They had a
when
flashback.
he first met Sully, when he was a teenager, didn't Sully also have a mustache back then? He had more hair, but he also had a mustache. I think people like me are really getting fucking hung up on that whole mustache thing, and
it's because
it's arbitrary,
we want
whatever,
Sully's mustache ride, and without Sully's mustache ride, it's just not an Uncharted movie.
I think maybe like it would be cool if like they did some sort of cool nod at the end of the movie where like he's shaving and then he keeps the mustache. He's like, I think it's a new look. I think I'm gonna keep this look. So I'm sure they'll do it, man. You can't be that oblivious. You have to be. You have to know that he has a specific look. So I'm gonna see it anyway, man. I think it'll be fun. Fuck it, whatever. Like again, I think we'll always be underwhelmed as gamers, but whatever. We'll see. Mike, where you at with this, bro?
Man, okay, so the first time I watched it, I was like, fuck no. I was like, I don't care about this movie. It looks dumb. It just looks like that thing that Sony did was like, oh yeah, that kid that plays that one character we own? Let's get him to play another character that we own. The hair being slicked back, I'm not used to it. So here's the thing with Sony and their ass. They're like, yo, dudes, let's make this origin story and with these young guys. And so by the time we get to movie 3 or 4, it'll be like, the definitive look and like it'll be like a solid series or whatever to be in gaming. So, but like I said before, like I was like, I don't really like this, but the more and more that the trailer was shown and it was playing, and every time I caught it, I was like, you know what, this looks pretty cool actually. Like every time I watch the trailer, and I've watched it, I don't know, probably like a ridiculous amount of times, I was like, this looks pretty cool actually. Like the more I watch it, the more I'm getting into it. That the scene where they're flying and they're out of the what are those
Cargo
things
plane.
called? Yeah, the cargo plane. Yeah. I was like, that's a well done scene. It looked a little cheesy at first, but it looked like it was like a well done like action scene. I know they're going to try to like run that kid PG-13 hardcore, like I could really see it just being the next generation of Indiana Jones Jones films, because I don't think Harrison Ford wants to make any more, or is. I don't know. That might be false, but there might be one more in him. I don't think he wants to pass the torch. I know like Shia LaBeouf was supposed to be that like for Harrison Ford, but the Crystal Skull like flopped terribly. But with this right here, like, yeah, it's probably going to be good. It has the recipe for success. It's got a popular, not only one main character, but two main characters.
True.
They're throwing all the movie things in, you know, like I always see a video game movie just because it's a video game movie. The one tough thing for video game movies to do is to like showcase like what it would be like to gameplay or whatever that is exactly. Like, so to me, like, because it's a third person shooter, like I want to see Tom Holland like enact the animations that you see, you know, like I was like, oh, he's falling different off the cargo plane than he does in the game, but okay, I'll take it. But I want to see, you know, that charm that Nathan has, you know, that like the quips, those fast little jokes that he's got. And if I don't know if they're going to introduce Elena or anything like that, but yes, Mo, I do think
Chloe.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, because that's the first like fire, right? Yeah. Okay. I thought she looked cool. I was like, she
The
looks.
first flame.
Yeah, I was like, she looks just like the game in a way,
Yes,
you know, like
she
pretty
did,
close.
Bro. That was solid
liked that.
casting for her, man. Oh
yeah, I like that too. But yeah, I think it'll do good. I have no doubt about it. It'll probably do good, man. Like everybody loves this Tom Holland kid. Like I'm on the fence about him still. Like I didn't really think he's just a young. Like, he just, in every fucking movie he's in, he's just kind of like the Cavill thing, Kev. He's just the young, dumb, oh my God. And he even says that, like, in the plane scene. And I'm like, this is just Peter Parker, but whatever. Like, Tom Holland will be a great actor in a few years from now. Once he, like, gets out of his 22-year-old mindset and like into his man, like I'm 26, 27 or whatever. Once he like reaches that point in his career, like he's gonna go places, you know. Obviously he's already there, but the only movie I haven't seen from Tom Holland is The Devil All the Time on Netflix, and that looks good. But like again, I've seen the trailers to it. He looks like just that little kid that doesn't know what to do, and he's just always that young guy, you know, where I'm just like, dude, will you be a cool badass for once? Hopefully this is it.
That's going to be the crazy thing about it, right? Because, like, man, there are actors who end up having a hard time getting, I mean, not him, just for instance, like, they end up having a hard time seeing, you know, having directors or even the audience themselves see them as anything different than what they're really used to them as, right? I mean, like for him, like you see him, you're like, oh, this guy's Spider-Man, he's Peter Parker, right? Like, can you really see him in some sort of like really serious movie or whatever it is, you know? And then on top of that too, you know what that reminds me of? If anybody is a fucking boomer and you watched Saved by the Bell, then you know Dennis Haskins, who played Mr. Belding. After Saved by the Bell, he never fucking got like a legitimate gig
because he was just the goofy principal.
Because he said it himself. It was like in a memoir or something. He's like, no one was able to shake Mr. Belding out of their head when I was casting.
Yeah, he got typecast,
typecasted. There you go.
Yeah, so that's the thing too, man. Yeah, he's got that baby face, and it's just it's hard, but we'll see. You know, I mean, whatever. I think we'll watch it. I think it'll be
just one last thing. If it does do good though, and they somehow figure out a way to like tell these video game stories, it might be a kickoff. The generation will start to move out of superhero movies, hopefully, and like into like gaming stuff, I guess. World of Warcraft was dope.
Yeah. Yeah. I love your optimism, but I'm not sure I'm there.
Dude, whatever. I remember seeing Resident Evil 1 being so fucking hyped for it. And I went in a theater and I was in the 7th grade and I didn't know the difference between like critiquing movies, what's a good movie. I was just so excited. Like it says Resident Evil, like it's showing the umbrella sign. Like, oh my God, this is insane, you know? And then when I went to go see it, I was like, that was a crazy movie. Not what I expected. And then every single video game movie has given me that like weird, like, was it good or was it just good because it had Doom on it or Resident Evil 3 on it or Dragon Ball Evolution?
You just made me feel so fucking old. Oh my God, 7th grade, Resident Evil. Holy shit.
I know, bro. You see this guy?
Holy shit! Oh, my hips just started to hurt.
It fucking kills me. Because your fucking guy just flared up my rheumatism. God damn.
I can't even grip my. Oh god.
7th grade Resident Evil. Jesus Christ. Man. What the
Fuck, man.
Go away, bro.
When did Resident
What?
Evil come out for you guys? What were y'all, like seniors or something?
I was like, it was like
I
3
don't know.
years ago. Shut the fuck up. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to fucking.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, good shit.
Okay. All right. So, whew, that was something. Okay. Really quick to mention, GTA, the trilogy, the definitive edition, it was finally revealed by Rockstar, and they said individual games where you can, that some of the individual games from the trilogy are coming to either PlayStation Now or Game Pass. So Grand Theft Auto 3 is coming to Game Pass. Grand Theft Auto 3, I'm sorry, I'm looking at them as numbers. So GTA 3 is coming to PS Now. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is coming to Game Pass. I think it's fitting, you know, I mean, for GTA 3 to be coming to PlayStation Now as well, considering that, you know, I mean, that's really where it made its fame and fortune. You know, it made it on the PlayStation 2. So, you know, realistically, all three of them did. I mean, initially, like, all three of them did launch on the PS2 before they reached other platforms. But anyway, I think, you know, you guys can watch the trailers themselves. It seems like they, honestly, man, they did a better job than what I thought they would. You know, they said that they have modern control upgrades, improvements to targeting and lock-on and aiming, updated weapon and radio station wheels, mini maps, and then, you know, obviously the enhancements as well. Completely rebuilt lighting system, shadows, weather, reflections, upgraded character and vehicle models, new high-res textures across buildings and weapons, roads, interiors, blah blah blah. So they did a better job on this than I actually thought they would. When I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, you know, still not buying it, but okay, you know, I mean, I'm like Jordan, right? Like, I mean, I love Grand Theft Auto and what it was and what it really did for gaming itself, but like, I don't have that affinity for it where I just see it as like in these, you know, with God rays, the way that a lot of people do. You know, like I don't. Like, I mean, this does nothing for me. Like, I mean, yeah, is it nostalgic a bit? Yeah, of course it is. They were fucking amazing games when they first came out. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that, you know, but like, I mean, and I'm glad to see that it's getting a proper upgrade, but I don't know. Like, Kevin, did this do anything for you? What do you think?
It brought back memories of me being high as fuck when I first saw GTA 3 being played. It was like New Year's Eve, and I visited some dude's house, and he was playing a game, and it turned out to be GTA 3 on the PS2. And like that week, I went out and got a PS2 just to play GTA 3. I mean, that's how amazing this game was to me. And I was a PC gamer back then, so I hadn't really seen anything like that, third person like that. You know, will I get it? I might. I mean, I don't have copies of San Andreas on console or the original GTA. But I think I might wait for a sale or some shit. I mean, I'm in no rush to get this. $20 a game. I mean, $20 a game with the enhancements, with the control scheme and the controller, you know, enhancements that make it feel more like GTA 5, which still has like super fucking bad input lag. It's one of the worst. But maybe they'll improve on that. A lot of people are bummed about the Switch version because it's going to be 30 FPS, which kind of sucks. But the fact that it's even on the Switch is kind of cool. I might even get it on the Switch. I think that'd be a pretty badass game to take with you, like the trilogy on a cartridge, just to kind of like when you're in your hotel room at night and shit, you know, and you're done with Pornhub and you need something else to do. Then yeah, you know, that'd be kind of nice. I mean, you know, while the wife sits there and watches some shit you don't want to watch. So yeah, it'll sell, dude. It'll sell like crazy. And that just gives them more incentive to not release GTA 6 until 2028.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you got these coming out and five's third or fourth newer
Yeah.
iterations. So yeah, man,
And they'll remaster 4. They still got to
Yeah.
go back to 4 and
Yes,
do
they
a definitive
do. They
edition
have
of
to
that.
remaster. Yeah, they're Resident Eviling them, except Resident Evil were actually proper remakes.
Right. They're just gonna put some new paint on it, re-release it, and it'll be 2028 until we see GTA 6.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, boy, we have come full circle, man. We know
It is
exactly
here.
where the hot coffee mod came from, my friend.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then let me see. Diego, fuck off, man, with that fucking bullshit. This guy drives me crazy with that shit. Okay, let me see. 4K60. Yeah, I agree, Nix. Mike, how's your, considering that, you were like fucking 3 years old, when
my
these games came out.
No shit. He wasn't even born yet.
So I literally.
You know what GTA
Oh
is.
my god! I literally remember the time.
Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, I remember I was in it was literally the same exact night I was exposed to the PlayStation 2 and Metal Gear Solid 2 and GTA 3. Those were like the 2 games whenever the PlayStation 2 came out. And I just remember I was chilling with a buddy and he had it, and I literally thought that GTA 3 was the best thing since sliced bread. Like, you can kill civilians in the city. Like, this is great. Like, I'm a little kid. I don't know, or whatever. So I remember it being a defining, like, next generation PlayStation 2 moment for me, because I was like, whoa, Metal Gear and a whole entire city that you can, like, wreak havoc in and have cops come in and stuff. 6th grade, by the way. I'm pretty sure it was 6th grade. But anyways, the remakes for these, I'm cool about them, and I'm excited that they're happening because I love the GTA concepts. I just don't like to play the games myself, just because it's like, just too, I don't know how to describe it. I say realistic for me, but I don't want to do these like the way the mission is organized and the mission is designed and just the way the whole game in itself is designed. I don't know why. Like, I just don't really like GTA for those reasons. I have no idea why, but I do like games like Sleeping Dogs. I think that's what it was called, Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah.
Where you're like one
That's
of the
a
actors.
great like clone of
Yeah, I don't know
game.
why.
That was a
I
great
really
game.
like those. And what's the other one? True Crime, Streets of LA. I know they're not
Crime
the
was
same game,
good,
but
Saints
that's
Row,
like,
yeah,
in those veins. I do like the open worlds, and I do like what they have to offer. But I think just Rockstar just has a way of telling stories. Like, I really liked Red Dead, and I bet. I don't really remember the stories of GTA, but I can only guess that, like, it's, down to earth and real. I haven't played 5 that much, but like I like what they offer gaming. And for like younger folks who haven't played 1, 2, and 3, I'm really curious to see if they're hardcore 5, like GTA 5 players, and they're like, I never played those old ones, so I like totally want to go back. Like, I want to know if that's like a feeling that they get for the hardcore GTA 5. But besides that, I'm kind of just like, I wouldn't mind listening to that Seagull song. Like, couldn't get away all my life. I run so far away. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll see, bro. It's whatever.
It's
$60. At least it's
new
not
generation of players,
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
it's for.
Yeah, for sure. Next, I agree too, man. It was GTA 3 was, man. No matter how you feel about the series, it was a defining moment. It was definitely one of the, like, we say Halo, what it did for first-person shooters on console. Specifically, what that one did. GTA 3 was basically that tier in terms of
really?
like what
Nice.
it did for gaming on, at the time. So it's fucking amazing, man. It was really, really cool. Okay. Last thing I'll touch on really, really fucking fast. I was going to save this, but whatever. It's next week. Sony announced the State of Play. It's returning next Wednesday. It's for upcoming updates on third-party games. Third-party games for PS4 and PS5, so it's a mixed one. It's in store for next Wednesday, October 27th at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so 5 p.m. our time here in the East. They said it's going to be about 20 minutes. I'm not expecting too much out of this, third-party game. So they're basically being very clear that, hey, we're not going to be giving you guys any updates on our games in particular. Third-party, we've already seen. We already saw like Ghostwire Tokyo. That's been pushed into next year. They're not going to fucking show Deathloop anymore because fuck, they've showed that enough and it's already out by now. Maybe like smaller indie titles, maybe again they'll probably show that game with the Square Enix. It was called Project Athia. I forgot I always forget the name of the game, man. Always forget it. So I don't know. I'm not really expecting much. I don't think it's gonna be like one of those heavy hitting ones unless like they announce a really cool third party fucking deal that we just haven't seen. We weren't expecting. But you guys expecting anything here, Kev?
I have no expectations. However, I would love to see.
Thank you.
I would
Sorry,
love to see some Hogwarts action.
Yes.
Some hardcore Hogwarts action. Yes. But other than that, honestly, I don't know what else they'd show. Maybe some other indie titles. But Hogwarts would be amazing. 6 minutes of Hogwarts. Hot Hogwarts action. You can actually search for that on Pornhub. Hot Hogwarts
Oh my
action.
god, how did I know? How did I know, Kev?
You have to expect that.
I think you might be
You're
in luck
welcome.
though, Kev, because I did see some article written about the rumor, like, oh man, they might showcase that exact game next week. So like, it might be true.
Look at me, man. I'm so fucking. Oh my god, dude. I'm so fucking dumb. The game of Project Athia, for some reason, I thought Wild Boy here, he said abandoned. For some reason, I thought it was called abandoned. Then I just remembered abandoned is the abomination from fucking Blue Box or whatever the fuck it is that it's supposed to be. So you know what, Wiley, you fucking confused me, man. So
He trolled you, man.
I'm
He
sorry,
trolled
dude.
you
Yeah,
live.
he did. He trolled the fuck out of me there, and I think it was unintentional.
Do you want me
And
to
I
boot him?
even said like
I'll boot him.
while you were talking, I'm like abandoned. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Oh my god, I'm senile, I swear to God. This is amazing. What were you saying, Kevin? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was done, man. Mike, do you have any thoughts on the show?
Yeah, I think Mo's onto something. I feel like it'll kind of be some rehashing of what we already know. I would seriously love Hogwarts, I like for a second there, I was like, maybe we'll get something God of War, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. I'm just trying to think of just like other games that I recall like being thrown in the abyss of what rumors are, and I'm just like not landing on anything. The only one that sticks out is that Hogwarts thing. And to be quite honest, as a non-Harry Potter hardcore, like I like it, but I don't like it that much. That game I hope is awesome because I feel like you could do a lot with wizards in video games. Obviously.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I know. Wow, boy, I was just fucking around, man. I know you weren't trolling. I said I'm senile, bro. That's honestly, I should take my fucking Seroquel.
You can
It's my-
actually just throw in any words.
You
in
can
chat
throw in
and
any word and
he'll
I'll
just start
associate it
like
with it,
making his own narrative.
Yeah.
Out
Yeah,
of it,
I know. That's really
honestly.
what it was.
It's really bad.
Yeah, I just confused abandoned for Project Athia, and I still don't know what the fuck the name of the Athia game is. So
Forspoken? Is that what you're talking about, Mo?
yes,
Forspoken?
thank you,
Okay.
Forspoken. That's what it is. Yes, oh yes. I have to fucking tattoo it on my forehead so I don't forget it. Yes, Forspoken. I love you, Wiley. Anyway, yeah, man, that's
Couture
Okay.
News would be sick too next.
yeah.
Maybe on
We'll
that.
see next week what they show on Wednesday, but that's it, boys. That was
It's a wrap.
That's a wrap, man. That's the end of this week. We had a lot of good topics, and we even had two huge things that happened in the middle of the show. Number one is finally we get to see Halo Infinite campaign footage. It's going to drop tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're in the Pacific, that fucking sucks, So
Yes, it does.
it'll be 9 a.m. Eastern here. And the other thing, too, is my computer crashed in the middle of my Splinter Cell rant. So if I disappear while watching it, or while you're watching it, you'll know exactly why. But thank you guys for being with us. Really appreciate you, honestly, every week. Love you guys, man. Seriously. Thank you for fucking making these Sundays awesome. If you what the fuck was it? I don't know, bro. Kevin, what's the shit Jordan usually says, man? You know, like I mean, you and him-
Okay.
yeah, you and him are the
I
smooth
almost forgot
talkers, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So if you do like the show and you like what we do here and you like the
Yes.
rants and the jokes,
Yeah.
please like and subscribe to the video. Watch us. We got our link tree set up. This podcast will release on Spotify and whatever streaming service you have, and and feel free to give us comments on what you like, what you don't like. How senile Mo is, and how we need to replace him before he goes completely senile. And we also have a Discord, and I'll go ahead and shoot out some links in chat. And that's all, man. Thanks for coming on and hanging out with us.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And if there's something that you guys want to see from us, also let us know.
yeah.
And I'm just going to end it with this last thing. Go watch the movie Dune because it's incredible. It is simply incredible.
Please watch
Worth
it.
it.
Please
Worth
watch it. Yes, please do. It's amazing. I can't believe
I gotta watch that shit.
I didn't even mention Dune in the beginning when we were talking about what we did and what we watched. I can't
know,
believe
shit, I
I
forgot.
completely skipped that. Yeah, well, we can't prolong it, but yeah.
Next time.
Whew, next time, baby. Next time.
baby. Next time.
Anyway, yeah, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Peace. Take it easy. Have a good one. Peace and love, baby.
Bye.